So art's all about personal reflection, right? That deeper level thinking about something which has an obvious meaning, but then something which resonates in yourself. And I want to give you an example of that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Rum, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. And from His signs is that He has created from you partners, spouses, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً, and has placed between you مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً, love and mercy. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ, and in that indeed are signs for those who reflect. Have you reflected upon this ayah? Do you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He said that He placed between you love and mercy, that He just put it in there in that order just for the sake of it? Allah never ever in the Qur'an does anything just for the sake of it. There's no randomness in the Qur'an. There's no just any old order. Everything is there for a reason. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said mawaddatan wa rahma, He chose mawaddatan wa rahma as opposed to a thousand other characteristics or descriptions or words. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said mawaddatan wa rahma, love and mercy, He did that intentionally, and He didn't put mercy first and then love second. He didn't say rahma wa mawadda. And we need to work out why. And that's part of the beautiful mystery, the beautiful, the magic of the Qur'an, that you sit there and think and reflect. And it's like the never-ending story. You know, I always say that when you open that book in that classic, and suddenly it opens and this power comes out. It's amazing. And there is a reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, mawaddatan wa rahma. Talking about marriage and relationships, you know, the beginning parts of relationships, they start off pretty well with just a very simple form of love. You know, in English, you can only really say love and mercy because, I mean, in the Arabic language, the words for love are so many. There are so many different types. But in English, you're kind of restricted. But if we look at this from the Arabic point of view, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses the word mawadda. And mawadda is a very kind of, a very physical, very passionate form of love. But it also is quite low down on the scale, meaning that there are deeper, more intense forms of love that follow after it. Another classic word for love is ishra. And ishra is considered to be the love that occurs after a long period of time, a deep kind of love. And mawadda is seen to be the beginning of that. So we could argue linguistically from this verse that mawadda is the starting phase, it's the ignition of the relationship. And, you know, in a relationship, at the beginning, the honeymoon period, everyone's very forgiving, and you kind of, you're kind of caught up in the passion, and then suddenly life kicks in, and then, work starts, and you're not together, and then kids, and then, you're waking up to people who don't look like they used to, Fajr face, and then people's bodies start to get a little bit different to what they used to be, and then, and you get what I'm talking about. You need something else. You need something extra than just that passionate love. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then tells us that it's mercy, wa rahma, and mercy that will sustain that relationship, that will keep it going for the long term, that forgiving nature, that being easy upon one another, that forgiving the thing that at the beginning of a relationship, if you were to see that kind of thing, you would have been put off. You wouldn't have felt that attraction. You give the example of a dish. If you imagine you're making a nice dish, you got fresh ingredients and you stick them in and it's all bubbling away great and it's a great start. Now you got a decision. Most big dishes, you're going to have to now turn the gas down and let it simmer. If you just carry on a high heat and all frying away, whatever, then it will just burn itself out and everything will just burn and that's the end of it. If you turn the gas off, then you're not going to have any dish. But you turn the gas down and you let it simmer, and the low cook and the slow cook, that's the mercy. That's the long-term game which is being played. That mercy where you're more pardoning and forgiving and more easygoing with your partner. And you see our parents like that. You see those who have had long relationships like that. That's the beauty and the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not using a random order, but a very specific one. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. And that's Tadabbur. That's art, alternative random Tadabbur. And I hope that you're going to join me in the class art for a lot more. Jazakumullah khair.